Welcome back to my car cave. Got another new model for you. Again, this is another CK model Minichamps version. This is the Alpine from 2023. I believe this is the A523. Yes, the A523 Pierre Gasly from the 2023 Miami GP. This one is limited to 222 pieces. Comes in this wonderful clamshell box that I always talk so highly of, with some Miami palm trees and some light blues and pink hues, just to kind of give you an indication of which race this one is for. When you open up the box here, you get a nice picture of the car from the race, as well as the car on this display base with some information about what car you're looking at. So let's go ahead and take it off the base, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, now that I got the model off its base, let's go ahead and talk a bit more about it. First off, this does come with a pit board showing that Pierre Gasly finished 8th at the Miami Grand Prix that year. This is a typical Minichamps quality type model. This is a resin model. We know that by doing the kind of the drop or tap test where it deposits all the resin onto your table. Therefore, because it's resin, the wheels, no, they do not spin, nor do they turn left or right, although I'm finding that is also the case on some of the die casts as well. Also, what I did notice is on the bottom here, you have 1, 2, and 3 screws that attach it to the base. On the die cast ones, it typically is only 2. And here's the bottom of the car. I often forget to show you guys that, but I get a lot of requests to see the underside of the car. But typical Minichamps quality, again, as always, the carbon fiber details are really nice. Different types of carbon fiber being used, or different striations and patterns and stuff. This air outlet here is the Miami Grand Prix. Is super hot, so they had this, exhaust outlet or heat exchange outlet. It's outlined in carbon fiber, which is really cool. And then they have this kind of technical carbon fiber pattern here. I'm not sure what the significance of that is, but it just kind of looks neat. It's different than most of the cars we have. Because it's resin, one of the negatives here is, the back of the car, the back of the cowling is solid there, you can see. And then the exhaust pipe is kind of, you can see where it's solid, and they painted it black. Spark version, it's a metal piece here, photo etch part there. New for 2023, they did have the rear wing does have a split in it, which I've talked about in other videos. You also have this kind of tie back, which is also a photo etch part, which is a nice added bonus. As usual, the front wings, as Minichamps just never does, they're all, it's one solid piece here, and they use black decals to make it look like they're individual pieces here. But yeah, overall, good looking car. No complaints here. Did have a piece break off, piece of the tie arm on the suspension, pieces in the box, and I'll just have to glue it on later. You can see it's right there. That's resins are fragile, and so that's part of the problem, or one of the negatives with them. Although they are detailed, and I think the lines are crisper and make for it's a nice material to work with, I think, for these type models. So I do have the 2022 car. We'll go ahead and take a look at both of those side by side and kind of discuss the differences in design. One of the things I like to do is take the cars and compare them from year to year, just to see what the design element changes are. So I've got behind me here the 2022 car from Fernando Alonso, and then here's the 2023 for Pierre Gasly. For the most part, people look at my collection and see the same livery, and they can't tell the difference between the two. However, if you're watching these videos, certainly you can. So hopefully you enjoy looking at the differences as well. So starting up at the front wing, there's not really too much different from the 2022 season to 2023 season. Surely a little bit, but not a lot not enough to mention. The real noticeable difference is the nose. The nose is much wider and is a much flatter element to it than on the 2022 season. Then moving back, these directional vanes or directional elements here kind of have a rounded edge to them, whereas on the 2022 they have a more pointy design to them. And then where the real change to me is this side pod here. This side pod here is much more sculpted than on the previous season. It takes on elements of a couple different teams. This kind of bathtub element, which was kind of pioneered by Ferrari in 2022 and then slowly adopted by a couple of the other teams. And then you kind of have this cutout here around the front radiator, more reminiscent of Red Bull's design. So I kind of find that when these teams that are chasing the top tier cars, they tend to kind of Frankenstein some of the elements or ideas from these teams, and often not successfully. So it does look good. It's interesting, but again, as we noted, this team Alpine had an unsuccessful season last year. Also different than the 2022 is this upper rear cowling air intake. It's a much narrower traditional design for 2023. Whereas in 2022, it kind of had that carryover from the 2021 Renault cars, which was that kind of uh, fat air intake system, which I thought was kind of cool just because it was different. And then they also adopted what I call the tabletop here. I don't know what the technical term is, but that's what I've been calling it. This is used by a lot of teams in 2023. So anyways, that was kind of just something they glommed onto like a lot of other teams. So, anyways, pretty traditional design. It's kind of unique to see how, or interesting to see how these cars are evolving. They kind of all were standardized when 2022 launch cars came out. Now they're all slowly evolving. Some similarly, some in different directions. So anyways, just want to again take a quick peek and take a look at the differences between the design of the 2022 car versus the 2023 car. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, go ahead, hit like, much appreciate that. And also hit subscribe if you want to see future videos. I do have some more cars that I've purchased and some that are on the way. So I'll have some more videos out to you guys soon.